you could see them kind of grow into running the football a little bit more, particularly into the last 2 games, and committing more to the run. I think that has propelled them. And then when they got into that Houston game, they knocked their starting quarterback out, and they were moving the ball. Houston was at the time, and then they knocked out their second string quarterback as well. And I think they got after him at that point. And then this last week, I thought that they obviously played very well on defense, and they ended up getting 5 total turnovers, 4 in the first half, and they control the ball with their running game. And so I think what you see is, one, defensively, I think they're a very solid football team. They've got a really good, solid defense, and so that's going to always allow you to stay in games. And right now, what they're trying to do is they're trying to establish the run, control the game that way, and that's how they've won their last 2 football games. Yeah, they are. You can see them really flying around, playing well. Their secondary is very good. They've got 2 6'1", 6'2" corners that are athletic. Raheem Moore is one of the best safeties in the conference. They all are returning starters with a lot of experience. Their D-line, they've got a couple guys there that are playing very well, and they can get after the quarterback. They rotate in a good 8 to 9 kids, so they got a good rotation in their D-line. They're fresh. And so Akeem Ayers is, one of the best players in this conference. Number 10, they play him at linebacker, and then they've been playing him at defensive end as well, and extremely athletic. So they've got a very solid defense. You definitely got to be aware of where he's at. He's that good, and he's a really good football player. He's big and rangy, so when he's at linebacker, he eats up a lot of space. You think you can make certain throws, and next thing you know is long arms and snag the ball because he just covers so much area, and he's a really good player. I would expect that they're going to try to throw the ball a little bit more, just because I think they believe they're going to have to a certain degree. So we're going to probably see more pass than they've shown the last few games. But at the same time, if we're struggling to stop on the run, why would they pass, right? So it comes back to us being good and tackling and force them to do some things maybe they're not comfortable doing.
Limited looks you can get on film on it?
Well, we have not seen that, and yeah, it's a little bit different in what they're trying to do. And again, if you're not real disciplined, it's one of those things where if you slip up, good chance they can hit a big one on you. And so that's the key to that, is there's got to be a certain level of discipline in just gap integrity. And so there's that. And then once you're in your right gap, make the dang tackle. And that's what we're going to have to do. Juan has shown good signs of when he gets in there, and I'll say this about all the running backs right now, is none of them have truly separated themselves to say, hey, give me the ball 15 to 20 times a game so far. So it's just where that position is at right now. We would love for someone to step up and say, hey, this guy is head and shoulders and above the other guys, or they perform at such a level where they're that productive. And, we haven't gotten that. We haven't even had any big runs yet, other than the one James had. And we've had some decent runs, but we need more explosive plays out of that position. So it's still early. We've got a lot of football in front of us, so we're hoping to get more of that. And, we need to see if we can incorporate more of those guys in the game and see if we can light a fire under those guys to really get great production out of the position. Well, I wouldn't say that. I think they're all going to play, and then we keep hoping that someone's going to really take a step, and because no one's really stepped out in front of the other necessarily completely, that they all kind of deserve an opportunity to keep playing until somebody does do that. Particularly this last week, we didn't play very well. The week before, we played better, but it's Michael Edgewood has not been completely healthy. He's been battling a neck injury, so that's truly affected his performance. He's been battling kind of a stinger issue. And so Mike just hasn't played as well as he's capable of. So I think that's definitely one issue from the middle linebacker position. Alex Hoffman has improved. He's still not where we think he can be. He does some things really well. He hasn't shown consistency yet. And then Myron, same thing. You know, Myron has shown flashes, and then sometimes he makes some big mistakes. And we're relatively very inexperienced. You know, we've been playing C.J. Mizell in there, a little bit of Arthur Burns, a little bit of Darren Markle. Those are all freshman guys in there, and we haven't gotten the performance out of them that we need just yet. Granted, they're not real seasoned football players yet, but you know, we need to keep grooming those guys and get better. And we'll rotate guys in the D line. You know, we want to keep guys relatively fresh. Secondary wise, I think that, you know, what we basically told our players is whoever can really produce this week in practice and play extremely physical. Whoever can play the most physical is probably going to get the starting nod. We need everybody to step up and play a lot more physical on defense, and so could there be a change by the week's end in the starting lineup? There sure could be. We're going to find out who's going to want to hit somebody consistently. No, there isn't, and that's, you know, something we've talked about, and we're trying to get. You know, we don't have strong enough leadership, and that's a very good point. I think we've got some guys that have that capability that can be really strong leaders. They're in their first and second year, and they, you know, I don't know that they have that. You know, they don't have the stripes necessarily to do that just yet. And when those guys continue to mature and grow, I think we got phenomenal leadership on this football team. But when you're in your first or second year, and I've been in first and second year, and I also been a senior in a program, it's a lot different coming in early and trying to assume a role when there's guys quite a bit older than you on the football team. You know, sometimes that just takes time. We need our few veterans that we do have on defense to be stronger leaders. So I think they've showed a lot of good leadership at times, but the true leadership is when the tough gets going and things are tough. Who's truly going to keep fighting and leading the rest of the players and showing them the way. And, you know, from John Wooden to any pro coach or at any level, if you've ever coached, you know how important quality leadership is on your team. And you have to have it. And we're working at that. We're trying to build all our players as leaders. And I think they're coming along at the pace that is realistic in terms of where we're at. But we sure could use a little bit stronger leadership out of a few of those seniors. And we've clearly talked to a few guys about that, and we've kind of turned it over. Hey, you have all the right, and we will endorse anything you do in regards to leading and doing what you know is the right thing. And we do communicate that with our players, and it's part of a process. It's a lot easier said than done, but we have to keep fostering that and keep pushing those things. It's a good challenge. I mean, our defensive line's got to play well, and they're capable of playing better than they did. And UCLA's offensive line is very big. They've got some veteran players in there, and we're going to have to play well. And the way they run the ball and as quick as they hit their holes, we better be really good because they'll run right by us if we don't get off blocks or put our eyes where they need to be quickly after the snap.